Hello and welcome to CDO Magazine Interview Series. I'm Cheryl Rodenfels with Stratascale, and we are partnering with CDO Magazine, MIT CDO IQ, and the International Society of Chief Data Officers in a series of interviews. Today, I have the pleasure of talking with Hariharan Srinivasan, Director of Enterprise Data Engineering and Analytics at Franklin Templeton. Welcome, Hari.
Thank you, Cheryl. Nice meeting to you, and very good morning to you and your team. Thank you.
Thank you. Analytics and data science roles are almost as hot as cybersecurity roles right now. How are you staffing and developing your talent to keep your roles filled and to make sure that you have all the human resources you need to get your work done?
Great question, Cheryl. It's a challenge right now after pandemic. Like we see, getting a skillful resource is becoming a big challenge. So the way I look at it is three things: people, process, and technology. People comes first, right? Investing on them, right? Reskilling, upskilling is very important, right? Because technology is not staggered; is actually moving very fast, and selecting the right technology and enhancing the skills of the resources is, it's a mandatory stuff. It's not an optional anymore, right? We have to be making them as part of, like, when you go to a college, you have a structure, like you have a curriculum like that. The reskilling and upskilling is becoming a mandatory, and it becomes part of the job, right? That's one. And the second thing is unlearning stuff, right? So sometimes we get very obsessed with certain technology, and we tend to, like, when the business problem comes, we start thinking, like, how do we solve that using that technology? We are very familiar with that, right? So sometimes it's very important to unlearn some of the stuff we learned in the past, and then be open to learn new things. Like, so investing on people, and people are great assets. They are the one who's bringing a lot of value to us, and they are the one who's is making things happen. So for me, people comes really first, and I, as a data leader, I emphasize most on encouraging people to learn new skills, attend a lot of conferences, make them all the platforms available, right? Uh, so that they can have access to all the information they need. And also the big thing is support we are getting from the corporate, right? The corporate is also very helpful by providing necessary budgets and necessary training platforms available for our resources, so that they can go and reskill their knowledge. That's one. And next is the process. The process is evolving, right, over a period of time. uh, what we know today is what we know. That's it, right? So there are, as part of that learning, we learn a lot of good things, what works best, and we also learn what doesn't work best for us, right? So the process of people following that process to make things possible is also very important. The last comes the technology. Like, technology is what makes you to deliver. Above all, I wanted to emphasize one more thing: is the domain knowledge. What is the business knowledge? We can learn technology. You can learn a lot of ETL tools. You can learn analytical tools, everything. But how does the business work? What is the core of, what is my business? What are the business data sets? Like, that is the big knowledge, like, which helps people to be much more productive, right? Yeah, when we go and hire people from the market, right, they come with a lot of technology, but the very important for them to be very productive and start contributing is giving them that domain knowledge. So we have a lot of training plans, like, in the first 3 to 6 months, we stay invested, providing them those business knowledge and business processes, so that helps them to be helpful for contributing. And the other thing is, how do we give them a lot of opportunities so that we reduce the attrition? Retaining people is also biggest challenge, right? Giving them a lot of motivated work, and encouraging them and recognizing their work also helps to retain people for a longer term session. And I took little longer, but I thought this is an opportunity for me to voice out like, okay, it's not just about technology, but also people need to, whatever the industry they belong, they have to be focusing on learning those business domain that will help us them to groom and contribute better.
No, I think that's amazing. We talk to people in all kinds of industries, and you're right. You can have the technical skills, but if you don't know what the basic business is about, and I like that people need to learn the data sets that they're working with. I think that is really key to them being successful. So let me ask you a follow-up question with your staffing and so forth. Are you relying more on automation than you have in the past, or how much automation have you introduced to some of your processes so that maybe it can overcome some of your shortages, or do you use automation in a different way?
We rely heavy on automation. I would say more than 90% of our entire process is automated, and we have the operations team and strategic projects team both working together, right? So automation is a very key factor for us to be more efficient. And automation is a continuous process. It's not a done deal, right? So every time you look at some opportunities, every time you run into some issues, the way I look at as a data leader is I stop complaining about why is this problem arising. Rather started looking at, oh, this problem is my opportunity to fix it and prevent it from reoccurring. So that's how I'm turning my way of thinking by taking every problem as an opportunity for us to fix it, which means we are continuously evolving the automation. And then what we went live with certain process, and when the process is running for over a period of time, you learn things, what is really running good, what is the scope for improvement. So which means you are working on circles. You start, you finish, again start, you finish. So it is a continuous process evolving. And the other thing which I wanted to also think is listening and hearing from other peers, right? How they are doing automation. Like I probably go with one way of automation, but my peers or my business partners all can come in and provide inputs, right? So listening to their thoughts and evaluating and finding the right fitment is also very important, Asher.
Thank you so much. I work with a lot of customers, especially on automation, data automation. And if we look at their maturity model, a lot of them are at level 0 because they're using people. They're so used to using people to do things instead of processes. And then when they start automating, they end up automating bad processes. But it sounds like if you're continuously doing that, it feeds back into the things that you mentioned, making sure your data is trusted, making sure it's consistent, making sure that it's available too. I just think that's fantastic. Well, Hari, thank you for joining me today. For everybody, please visit cdomagazine.tech for additional interviews, and have a great day.
Thank you, Cheryl.